Hello and welcome to this Runes of Magic video. What I'm going to do in this video is I am going to run Barren Caves instance. It's the lowest level instance in the game. It's around level 10 or so. I'm going to run it as if I were a level 12. When I was level 12 on this character, I did run it. So I'm going to run this. I'm actually going to run every instance that I can up to my level in the appropriate gear that I would have had at that level. So this is actually the Logar chainmail set that you get it from a series of quests here in the Howling Mountains, the lowest level zone of the game. You get it here. You also get this shield here. The cloak and the sword were both drops that I got. The cloak I think I've had for a while. Yeah, the cloak is my old cloak that I used. The sword I didn't remember what weapon I used. I must have sold it or something, so I went and I actually got this as a drop here in this zone. So yeah, I'm going to go do that, and then I will sort of explain what I've been doing with this character and what inspired me to do it. Oops, I can't do that because I am too big. There we go, let's try this. Alright. So, when I used to play this game like a regular character does, on my main, I was around level 55 or so, but the level cap was around 65, 70, something like that. And I just got fed up with the fact that even though I, as a level 55 character, had invested all this time and effort into gearing myself up to run the instances at my level, I never could, not because I wasn't good enough, but because all of the endgame players, the high-level players, they would always run with you. You couldn't get a group with people at your level. You could only get a group with these high-level players, and they would just go in there and nuke everything, and then you never get to have any fun. You never get to have any sort of challenge or do anything interesting while you're in there. So I got fed up with that. So what I decided to do, and I started out with some guildies who ran stuff with me. We made a new clan or a new guild on another server, and the goal was to run every instance at level with level appropriate gear. That's the gist of it. There were actually a whole bunch of rules associated with the clan, or with the guild. I keep saying clan. Associated with the guild. But that's the main thing. So what I'm doing here, not only do I have level 12 and under equipment that I'm using, I also am only going to use my skills that I had at level 12. So right now I'm a warrior priest. So I have regenerate and urgent heal, and then I have slash and raged, and then all these other abilities. I can use these potions if I wanted to because they require level 11, but all of these other abilities I'm not going to use because those are abilities that I get at a higher level. And then I also have probing attack, open flank, and thunder. These are and whirlwind. So these 6 abilities I can use. Now I realize, of course, that right now I am actually a lot more powerful because I'm level 47 and my skills are level 47. But when I ran this, when I made this character, I actually ran it at level. So I was level 10 or 12, and my stats were at level 10 or 12. And that was part of the rules, was that you had to do that. You know, it was also in the rules that if you are a high level, you don't have to reset your stats. It's very expensive to do that. And I didn't want to force people. I didn't want to force myself to make that huge investment just to reset my stats. Just to make running lower level stuff authentic. But at the time when I ran it, I was a lower level. What I did do, however, is while I was running an instance, so if, let's say that there was a really nice axe in this instance that I wanted to get as a drop, and so I had to grind through it a whole bunch of times. What I would do is I would go to a high level instance and I would just die a lot so that I would accumulate debt, XP debt, so that all the XP that I was gaining from grinding this out would not be enough to level me up. I would be minimizing the amount of XP I was getting, because it was a trivial task to actually go and level up. I didn't want to do that unless I was actively trying to level up. So I would grind this until I got that awesome axe that I wanted, and then I would level up to the level of the next instance and then run that. This is all hypothetical, though, because there is no really nice axe that drops in this instance. There's actually nothing that's really nice that drops in this instance. This kobold cane that I got, this actually drops off of the end boss in here. It's the only item I've seen that drops off of it that is not a green item or a white item. It's the only blue item I've seen. I'm pretty sure there's nothing good. I remember back whenever I did this originally, that there were some nice websites that kept track of, you could basically look up any monster and everything that it drops. But now it's a lot harder to do that, because those websites just aren't up anymore. But I remember looking it up and realizing that there was nothing good. So I only ran this a couple times just sort of for posterity, and because I had guildies running it with me. But the quest gear, this Logar chain set that I've got, was just better than anything that I could get as a drop. My original character was a warrior, and so I kind of wanted to stick with the warrior, but I also wanted to try out priest and knight, so those are my other two classes. Primarily now I play as a priest warrior, which is actually really good for soloing. Alright. I should really just tag all these guys. That is a much faster way to do this. I also don't usually kill everything in these instances, but I am on this one just sort of for fun, I guess. A lot of times I would go through and kill everything like the first time I ran it, but then later whenever I was just grinding through it and all I wanted to do was get to the bosses so that I could kill them and get the good stuff, the good loot, then I would just run past everything, sneak past everything. And if I get to those higher level instances, you'll see what I mean. These mist emeralds that I've been picking up, they're actually really valuable, even though this is like the beginning of the game, this is low level content. You can still get these and sell them for a good amount on the auction house because they are used as a material for crafting instruments that are used even in late game to buff yourself before a fight. So they're pretty valuable. You see that I actually have a whole lot of XP debt now, even though I'm not actually getting any XP from these guys because I'm too high level. I decided to do that just because I needed some debt on my warrior side. So if I ever did run anything on him, I wouldn't level him up prematurely. I'm just gonna tag. I feel like if I go out of range of these guys, they're going to unaggro. But maybe not. I don't know. Killing everything actually would have taken a lot longer whenever I was level 12 because I didn't have my skills ranked as high. And my base stats were not nearly as high. Most of this is just from leveling. My strength is the highest, but that's just because of this brute strength skill is boosting it a fair bit. A little passive skill that gives you some strength. It's not a lot, but at this level it is a lot. I also don't keep monster cards that I get. I usually sell them unless it's from a quest, so a lot of those stats are not from monster cards either. And I'm specifically wearing a title that doesn't give me any stats. Because I was trying to lower my stats as much as I possibly could to do this. That right there is the boss. I'm gonna grab this over here. I must have skipped one. Because you're supposed to get 10. I must have passed one. I'll go back and find it later, because I know I got that one. Alright, so here we go. I've also got Berserk. That's another skill that I would have at this level, so I'm going to use that. Oops. I chugged a potion, but that's okay. See, now I'm actually using my probing attack, open flank, and thunder. I usually only use those stats that I have on the right on the boss fight. Those are keyed to my numpad. So even though I am so much more powerful, this is a slow kill. But the main benefit that I'm getting from being so much higher level and having all those extra stats is not actually offense. Because I'm using a low-level weapon, that's the biggest determinator of your DPS. The main thing that's helping me is the fact that because I'm so much high level, I dodge things a lot, and I just have higher defense. So even without my healing skills, I basically can't die in this instance. But it definitely was an interesting challenge whenever I was level 10 doing this, all those years ago. In case you're not aware, at the time of doing this, the level cap is level 100. So I'm not even close to the level cap. In fact, in Chapter 1, the first expansion of the game, the level cap was 50, so I'm barely even close to that, and I can't run level 50 instances yet. See, oh look, I didn't get anything. All I got was this, which gives you a title, which I already have. Alright. So, I suppose next time we will look at running Windmill, and then we'll look at another instance that is actually... a lot of people think Forsaken Abbey is the lowest level instance in this game, but there's actually 3 instances that are lower level than it. And we'll get to that, too.